Hey everyone, it's Producernerd again. I've been looking at a lot of in-ear monitor systems because they're so important to what I'm doing. They never used to be so important to studios. They were always a live gig product, but more and more people like me are making videos, music and live videos inside their house, their studio space. And they don't want to annoy the neighbors, so they don't want to put their vocals through a great big PA as well. The only way you're going to hear yourself and sing in tune is to use wireless earbuds. Now you can put them wired if you want to be tethered to a cable, but we all want to dance around and make your videos interesting so that you stop scrolling and watch us. So in-ear monitors, or IEMs, are becoming increasingly more important to us all, so as content creators. So we've been through different arguments about different systems, about the expense of the big wireless systems that you get with your aerials, and some mid-range ones as well, some Chinese copies of expensive items. That didn't really work out so well, but hey, I've gone through the 2.4 gigahertz systems as well with the X5, which are fantastic. Now remember, 2.4 gigahertz is the same as our Wi-Fi frequency. So some of those systems can interfere with your Wi-Fi systems, especially like me, where you use an iPad or tablet to control your mix or your interface, and everyone gets their own little mix. I hand them the iPad, they can turn themselves up, guitar down and things like that using a wireless connection with something that's important in your studio. So it could affect that. So sometimes 2.4 gigahertz systems are not suitable. I reached out to these guys, Cloud Vocal. They have fantastic wireless systems in the 5.8 gigahertz system. So that's still worldwide usable. It's not illegal in countries, so that's a fantastic alternative. It does only give you 4 different channels, where the X5 and 2.4 gigahertz system gave you 6 possible frequencies. But these guys here have a totally different approach as well. And they do some fantastic products through to violins and guitar wirelesses and everything as well, which we hopefully will explore later. For now, let's see what they sent me. Okay, so this one here, I can just read the back here, is the Eversync system. Now the Eversync system is really what I'm very interested in. Let's just crack the box. Look at this. It's a totally fresh seal. Let me just give it a little bit of a across there. Thank you very much for my fingernails. Aha. So the Eversync system, as you can see, is a totally different approach. These guys have a foot pedal. You can mute your IEMs. So this is your transmitter. And you have a normal power supply, or you can use a USB-C. Apparently that gives you less level in your earphones. So I'll be going for the 9-volt DC. And if you've got a pedal board, you're a guitar player, you've already probably got a multi-power supply anyway that you can just plug this in. It'll be the same as your Boss pedals or whatever your other effects pedals are. So you have a Canon and a jack on this side as throughs. So basically like a DI through. So what happens is you get one channel here and one on the side. Input 1, input 2. Input 2 can be a mini jack, might be a backing track or something off your iPad or something like that if you're running backing tracks. That's pretty common and a pretty cool feature. You can always upscale that with an adapter, but it's very hard to downscale from a normal jack down to a mini. So I'm pretty happy to see that on this as well. So you go, if you're like me and you want stereo, you'd go left and right. And you can, via the front panel, turn it on and make some changes. We'll turn it on and check out what happens. Of course, this is the receiver. I've never ever held these in my life. So that seems pretty light, but very, very sturdy. That looks very cool. I can't wait to get that one happening. This is obviously the receiver feels feels like it's made out of very hard plastic, which makes it very light but very sturdy. It has a button in the middle. I'm not sure what that does. It's the power button on the side. That's obviously your charging button. These guys do give me on their specs say that they've got like 6 to 8 hours, I think it was, in their running time, which is pretty incredible. So this one looks pretty good. So look, that's very simple. You put your headphones in, there's your volume. Well, you've got another one up here that might be about syncing with the unit. And this one here, we'll figure out what they all do when I get into the manual. How's that? That's the whole in-ear wireless system in a box, transmitter and receiver. And I suppose that's your charging cable if you choose to do it that way, or you can run it as a DC 9 volt out of here, which is sort of, it's unusual to see a USB through to your DC, but that is your power. Of course, I'm in Australia and we'll need to find an adapter to go on there to give me Australia, but I'll figure that out, don't you worry. So let's have a look in the other boxes. Woohoo! I love Prezzies. All right, second box. Found it, cracked it, let's have a look. So this is a single receiver. This should be exactly, oh, nice little case. Comes in a nice little case. Now that's a pretty handy little unit. You could easily fit your IEMs in that case with it. Oh, that's pretty cool. I really like that. That's very cool. Basically, look, that's a spare for me, or I can run two units at once. Fantastic. And that comes with its charging cable and the instructions on how to set it up, which is very good. They're nice and simple by the looks. Quick start guide, how to set it up. That is fantastic. I think that looks pretty easy to me. Running multiple units on channels, so channel A, B, C, and D, etc. I think that's pretty cool. Look, I can't wait to give that a go after I charge them all up. So that is my second unit. How cool is that box? Okay. Now, I wonder what they've given me in box 3. All right, let's check it out. It says EC5 earphone. Now, these guys do IEMs as well, in the earbuds as well, of course. And their earbuds looked quite interesting. They looked something I think their price online was about $110. I'm not sure whether that's US. Probably is US, which is pretty cheap for IEM buds. So I'm very interested to see the quality of the earbuds. Similar case. That looks like an alternate cable. I think these guys actually ship with an alternate cable. Oh, open it like a Prezi. Oh, that looks like an adapter for an extension. How cool is that? So IEM cables are fairly short. Between the ears and your pack isn't a long distance. Even a tall person doesn't really need more than a meter or 1.5 meters tops. So this is very handy if you're going to use the buds just to listen to music for. So in the studio here, I'll plug into my headphone jack. If I don't want to be restricted on the length, I could run an extension. So it's very good quality. Not unhappy with that. Let's have a look inside here. Ooh, fancy. Gold goes with the logo. I'm impressed, boys. That's very good. Okay. Oh, this is very interesting. Nice little leather clip to keep them together. It's a bit rustic. These are your, obviously, your different ear pieces. They do look very, very cool. They've got sort of a little bump. It says an actual L and an R on it, so you know A lot of IEMs have a red thing for right, and that's for left. So very cool sort of design. I'm going to just try and pop them in my ears just right now the way they are. They've got sort of a light. Let's just see how they go. So this is left. Let's see how they go. Fits pretty good straight out of the box. Now, you should really play around with different ear things, but this is just to see how they're going to fit inside my ear socket. I'm getting pretty good isolation already. I can't hear my voice ambiently. I'm only hearing it inside my head. So just have a little tie at the back here, of course, just to pull them up straight. The cable itself is very flexible. It's not very wiry like you normally get, so which is pretty cool. It's got, you know, it can really wrap pretty well. So, and because the pack itself is quite light, I imagine these are going to feel quite light on you as well. I'm very happy with the way that feels, and they seem to fit quite well inside my ears like that too much. They're not sticking out too much. Gold is good. These are very interesting. Now, I think from memory that these were actually running a single diaphragm inside as well. This is new technology with a single driver, and I'm very interested to see how it sounds up against the expensive models that I have with multiple drivers. Well, let's see. Anyway, I've got new toys. I can't wait to show you guys these, and I would love to compare these with everything else and see how the 5.8 gigahertz rig works for me. Exciting stuff. Stick around and I'll show you what happened. Okay, what I have learned about these guys is I can put the IEMs and the pack in the same thing. They live great together. And I really do love the IEMs. Look, I've got lots of different IEMs. Some really expensive. The most expensive one I have has to be about $1,500 Australian for one set of buds, I'm talking, right? These guys are, like I said, $110 US retail. That's pretty cheap. They fit me very, very well, and I cannot tell the difference sonically between these and the ones who, you know, profess to be multi-driver, supersonic, mega, ultra, and expensive. These guys, and the cable is just so fantastic. It's just so flexible and light. I think these are my new favorite. So thanks so much to Cloud Vocal for sending me these. These really made a huge difference. And it was a big surprise. So I wasn't expecting these to be so good, but they are great. I highly recommend these guys. So I'll put a link in the description for all of this stuff, of course. And the Cloud Vocal receivers, something else that I've learnt. These guys do last for an extremely long time. They did last longer than any other IEM I have in the room. I've got ones that are pro packs for touring and other USB models as well. But these guys did outlast every other one that I had. That's interesting, right? So I'm not sure how many charges you're going to get out of these guys, but extremely light, very small, the lightest, smallest pack in my rig as well, which is great for the girls who are wearing dresses. They don't want to have a heavy pack. So I think these are going to be a huge hit. Sound-wise, I think that they were great. Probably not quite as loud as what I'm used to with like the X Vive. I think the X Vive was the loudest, but these are still nice and clear. If you are hard at hearing and want it really, really loud, I probably would recommend you go for a different brand. But these are using their IEM cables, remember, because some headphones have different ohm ratings and can sing louder with these than others. So it might be a case of just mixing and matching them with your IEM's buds, right? So fantastic. I did learn a little bit of a tip here, and this is probably a downside on these, and that is that just unplug it here. Your pedal at 5.8 gigahertz. This is Bluetooth or AirDrop frequency. I tried to change frequencies out of the A, B, and C and D. It didn't make much of a difference. So I had to switch this off physically every time I needed to AirDrop something. So be wary that these can interfere with that. I only need it for AirDrop in this studio, and I didn't find any other problems. Otherwise, these are fantastic. Having it as a foot pedal certainly suited the guitar players in my room. I've never used a foot switch type IEM before, but I think these are great. Look, this is a great alternative to the 2.4 gigahertz systems. So thanks again to Cloud Vocal for sending me this rig. It was awesome of you to do that. I really enjoyed using it, and I do highly recommend it because this is stuff that you can tour with as well, because it is legal in all of the countries that you're going to travel to. And you can't say that for the expensive IEMs with aerials that we use in different countries. We all have our own legal frequencies, and they cost a lot more than these guys as well. These guys are very convenient. You can put them in your own pack. This can be part of your pedal board, and all you need is one of these to carry your IEMs and your receiver in it. This is really basic stuff, hotel room, you could really travel easily with these. Make it your responsibility. Your hearing and your voice, you only get one set of ears and one set of vocal cords. So look after yourself, protect your hearing and your voice by using in-ear monitoring whenever you can. I would definitely recommend it to anyone in studios, and of course performing in loud spaces, which is concert, touring, even if performing in church, whatever you're doing. So get on the train. Cloud Vocal, these guys are awesome. Thanks very much for watching my video. I hope that it was useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.